Sunday fresh. Salute, peace and power, peace and power. I thank the universal truth and the absolute laws of nature for guiding me, protecting me, and giving me the strength to endure the imperfect. I shall attack with vigor, making progressive moves. A divine mind knows, a divine mind shows. All things work in divine order. All things work in divine order. All things work in divine order. Peace and power to the people of the struggle. As you come on in, know that you are in a safe space. Know that you're in a space of learning and getting learned up. Know that you're in a space of educating and being educated. Know that you're in a space for conversation, questions and answers, comments and concerns, dialogue, intelligence and integrity. You're in a space of knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, freedom and justice. Yeah. Love, hella right. You're in a space of love. Pure love. We work on a united path towards true liberation. As my classroom assistants come on in, please keep all contact information in the chat. For the duration of class, please keep all funding information in the chat. For the duration and throughout class, let's try to stay on pace with Cammy and Barack. And Hakeem and all the rest of them. That's part of the bill today. That's part of the class. We're going to speak on the Democrats, y'all. They asking for $5, man. Man. They asking for it. Preacher man asking for it. Yeah, I know some of y'all in church right now trying to hide and put your little earbud in. Pastor got his collection plate. Damn it, classroom assistants, keep the collection plate in the chat for the duration of class. Reese Palmer, much appreciated. Salute. Philly's in the house. What's going on, Philly? Yeah. If you or anybody you know is in need of anger management, please book an assessment. Don't wait till it's too late. Don't wait until they picking you up from in front of the store gate. Don't wait until they scooping you up out of your skates. It's too late. Nah, man, don't wait. Book an assessment. Find out what your triggers are. Your past trauma so we can de-escalate. Okay? Before you have to suffer through grief and consequences. Nah. Let's get on top of that. If you or anybody you know is in need of a domestic violence intervention, book an assessment. Yeah, come on now. That is a community issue, right? Our nation is suffering. Some of y'all light with your hands. Yeah, I done seen you slap that man upside his head and all that. I seen it. Yeah, book an assessment. If you or anybody you know is in need of intimate relationship abuse consultation, book an assessment. Life coaching, book an assessment. If you cannot keep your hands, if you cannot keep your thoughts off of trying to handle somebody, book an assessment. Learn the warning signs, the behaviors that should alarm you. Yeah, you got to watch out for your kids. Yes, you got to watch out for your siblings, for your loved ones, for your elders. Listen, please. Book an assessment. Find out the characters and the characteristics that you should be alerted to. Remember with the information, the life you save could be your own. Ooh, yeah. We up in the spotty spot on a Sunday. Yeah. Building. Yeah, building. When the Lord said you're supposed to rest. No, we gonna build today. We gonna get into it. We got some folks to tag today, y'all. Yeah. Yeah, we got some folks to tag. But first, shout out to my truckers. Where my truckers at? Where my union workers at? Where y'all at? Y'all out there on that road? Make some noise with that horn. Tell them to get up out your way. Be safe. Load and unload safely. Get back to where you're supposed to be. Home safely. Okay, don't play on them highways. If you're tired, get to the rest stop. Just don't mess with them rest stop runties. Stay away from them little stunts on the rest stop. Y'all be peeling off them ones too. Them 10s and 20s. That's them rest stop hoes. Cut it out. I know about you truckers, man. Male and female. Cut it out. Keep them people up out y'all cabin. Okay? Yeah. Shout out to Paperwork Good. To the guard job. Out there in Strong Island. Yes, mentoring the youth. Yes, doing what needs to be done. Paperwork Good. Come to the yard with it, no rat, no snitch, no nothing. You dig what I'm saying? And shout out to all of you. Get y'all classmates up in here. Share it on y'all social medias, man. Get y'all TikToks and all that. Get your little pads and your tablets, computers. Get the editing. Do what you got to do. Remember, this ain't my information. No, I'm just a vessel of this universal truth. So let's see who who is in class today, damn it. Who in here? Let's see, A. Wood, Detroit, first in the building, in class, in seat, yeah. April Brown, extraordinaire educator, DMV's in the spot. Let's go. Philip Boone, Bernadette, what up? We see you. Tierra, South Jersey's in the spot. We see you. Oh, Big Red Shaolin in here. We see you. Boy, we going for, man, we going straight out of town. Man, I done hit the Verrazano. I'm in Shaolin. I'm in Jersey. I'm in Philly. Already, I'm in Maryland already. We already, yeah. We done hit Detroit. We already done went out of town. Bushhead. What's going on? Much appreciated. Dub C13 Philly. What's up? Thrax Pack. What's going on? Terrell Williams 55. Terrell 55. Terrell 55. Kyle Malone 55. We see y'all creeping up in here. See Blaze, my sniper, in the building. GB, what's going on? Sean Jenkins, what's going on? We see you. Mr. Mac 123, we see you. What? Spirit, mind, character, and soul, peace. Ooh-wee. Long-ass name, Texas 55. Hold that. Yeah, King Hayes, what up? Hayes, we see you. What's going on? Grustler, we done took it out of town. We done took it out of the country. Grustler, the global hustler. Cuckoo, the bag of bones. Underground star. Chef extraordinaire. In the spotty spot. El Bloke, what up? What up? What up? What? Who's that? Mr. Khan, Genghis Khan, Haroon Khan. How do you push through the struggles? Welcome it. You got to welcome that struggle. That's how you push through. Trey Finesse, we see you. 55, Trey, 55. The truth lady. Walaikum assalam, wa rahmatullah, wa barakatuh. North Carolina, in the spotty spot. Kissimmee, Florida's in the spotty spot. I hope you are nice and dry and safe down there. Yeah, Kenny Mac, DC's in the building. We see you. Southeast, Northeast, Northwest, DC. In the spotty spot. Brandon Hawkins in the spot. Ken Williams in the spotty spot. Yeah. Yeah, let's go. Let's go. We up in here. Huh? Stephen Gill, 55. Gill, 55. Gill, we up in here. Let's get it on. What's going on? Who we gonna get at first? We got a lot to take care of. First of all, somebody tag Diddy in the building. Tag the diddler. Tag the puffster. Tag all you can, Harry. Tag him. Tell him to come to class and Charlemagne. Tag them too. Tag him too. Yeah, tag him. Somebody in here tag Black Lives Matter. Tag them. I know it's been quiet. They've been quiet, but tag them. Yeah, tag them. Seems that somebody going to jail. A couple of them going to jail, but tag them. Because they got a lot of bread. They made a lot of paper for doing nothing. Tag Black Lives Matter. Who else is up in here? Who else? Yeah, tag them. If they're in London, tag them. What's her name? Miss Salim. Tag her. Tag the Boston Black Lives Matter. Tag them. And tag this dude who took y'all hard-earned money and went out there and got him some prostitutes off of the Black Lives Matter money. Yeah, but see, we can't get none of that. Nah. Come here, they want free education, tight on the pocket. Yeah, peeking in and shit, trying to apply the knowledge. Yeah, sneak thieving. Yeah, but give it to them, and they went and bought cars and tricked out. Yeah, keep doing it. Keep doing it. I see you. Keep doing it. No doubt. Get the Democratic Party. All of them. Tag them all. Especially the black women folk. Yeah. Tag them. If migrants is here and they got Obama phones and stuff like that, tag them too. They need to hear this. Tag them. And I don't know why y'all sending that shit to me. But tag whoever those two old fade dudes were with the podcast and got y'all tight and triggered. Tag them. Tag them. I don't know who they are. Y'all sure sending it to me. So tag them. Who else? Who else we supposed to be talking about? I think that's it. So who we gonna start with, y'all? Who we gonna start? You know what? Since I wanted to go in on it a long time ago, Marguerite, we see you. I really did. Think for yourself. What's good? Title beneficiary 305. I see you, brown girl. Yeah, from Boston. Get on up in here. Yeah, we gotta talk about the peoples around your way, brown girl. Yeah. Yeah. That's what we gonna do. So now, I wanted to talk about this a while ago. I did. You know what? But I saved them. I spared them. I really did. Because I wanted to really try to wrap my head around how and why it was done. The way it was done. Hold on, y'all, because I done messed around and I'm losing sun. You know what I'm saying? And I hate that because then y'all can't see my dark brown eyes and stuff like that. You know? Let me try to. Yeah, I'm losing some sun here. Let me make sure this light. I don't want to lose it because I want y'all. Yeah, that's a little bright, but it's gonna have to do. It's gonna have to do. Yeah, and then I gotta situate it so. Yeah, I gotta situate it so it's all good, you know? Yeah, and I don't want to do that, so I gotta angle it a little bit so I don't get hype and start blinding y'all. Am I Hotep? How can a person be Hotep? And that you don't have no common sense when you come up in here like that. Yeah, but you can sit here. You can sit here and watch and learn something. Learn something. Stay right there. You can learn something. Keep your ass right there. Yeah, silly ass rabbit. Yeah, you're gonna learn something. And while you learn something, make sure you drop a little something in the collection plate, dummy. I wanted to get on them for a minute, right? I see you, Ciara. What's going on? And as always, in class, we're learning, and it's about critiquing. You dig what I'm saying? It's about making sure that we come and we attack and we engage, okay? From a perspective of intelligence. Remember, we ask questions that don't have answers to. You understand? To get people engaged and saying, yo, that don't make sense. And if it doesn't make sense, you can't force it. All right? So I wanted to get on these black women for a long time. Just like I get on the black men. Okay? Equal opportunity here. Because all need correcting. All right? All need correcting. But these black women specifically, because these are black women of a higher intellect. They're smart. You dig what I'm saying? Smart. They're not slow leaks. So they know exactly what it is that they're doing. You understand? Especially, like I keep telling y'all, when they have title bestowed on them, upon them rather, by the OFAs and these institutions and establishments. And they have these degrees and they have this media training. They know what they're doing. So when there are black women who are Democrats and politicians and they sit in a space where they supposed to represent you, man, we got to give them the business, especially when it comes to matters such as this. Now, hold on. These women that people threw out there on social media in this particular space with this specific issue are not the only ones who did this grave injustice or made an attempt to do a grave injustice. Okay? You understand what I'm saying? A grave injustice when it comes to the security of other black women and children and elders. Hear me out. They're not the only ones. Now, I don't know if any of you are hip to it, but there was a vote recently on a bill to get it into law. Okay? Now, even though this bill was introduced by the Republican Party or members of the Republican Party, we cannot argue the validity of it. Okay? We cannot argue. Now, some people may find that some tweaking could have been in place when it comes to it, but for so many black women to vote against it, it should be alarming to you. Now, I'm going to read this now. 158 Dems vote against bill to deport illegal immigrants who commit S crimes. That in itself was troubling for me because not all, but a good majority of victims, people who are victimized by S crimes are who? Women and children. Now, I'm not saying that men don't get scraped up. They don't, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that men don't have a problem when it comes to somebody trying to get their grippers, as we just seen, as we just witnessed and will be witnessing in the coming weeks. The Puffster was notorious. Yeah, he might have dibbled and dabbled with them ladies and them women's, but he done tore up a lot of men grippers, and it was not always consensual. So we not going to say that all S crimes happen to be victimizing the female, right? The gender. Right, we're not going to say that at all, right? But it's alarming, okay? It is alarming that a bunch of women voted against it. So now let me read this now. Let me read this now, okay? More than 150 Democrats voted against a bill that would deport illegal immigrants convicted of an S offense or conspiracy to commit such a crime. Rep. Nancy Mace introduced the Violence Against Women by Illegal Aliens Act earlier this year. Okay? Now, me personally, for decades, I would ponder and think and say, well, if we wanted to protect, or anybody wanted to protect our people, right? Our people, especially our women and children, from S crimes, we would make the punishments for these crimes so severe, right? I mean severe, where unquestioned, where you would have mandatory minimums of 20 and 25 years. This is what I always pondered on. If you get caught up and went to trial and was proven guilty of a scrape, 25, whole lot. And in the same instance, if somebody falsely accused that, severe punishment as well. Minimum 10 years. You don't ever call a false scrape. You understand what I'm saying? So this would offset any garbage when it comes to that. Women and kids would be protected. You understand? Protected. Now, that would cut all that out. But again, since this society does not care, you understand, about women and children, that they don't care about women and children, that their high priority is property, is capital. This is why when people are robbers, armed robberies, you could get more time than somebody who commits a homicide. A lot of y'all don't know that. That, yeah, you could get forever for robberies. Crimes against property are taken more serious than damaging a person forever. Do you understand? Forever. Do you know how serious it is for somebody to commit an S assault on somebody? You know the damage that does? Even an attempt is terrifying for a woman or a child. But that's just me. It would be off with your head. Off with your head. Straight up. Not when you have built a society of so many loose women running around, so many people who are free to give it away. I understand that it's a sick mentality. It is a person who is driven on power, right? Like the booty warrior, like Fleece Johnson, a warrior for men's grippers. Understand that. Yeah, understand that. So I would think that something like this would be passed easily. Easily. You understand? Let's continue. The Violence Against Women by Illegal Aliens Act passed the House of Representatives along bipartisan lines, as did 51 Democratic lawmakers. Right? I mean, all present Republicans voted for the bill, as did 51 Democratic lawmakers. The measure passed 266 to 158. Okay? 266 to 158. Okay? Now, it gets tricky. Along the Democrats who voted for the bill are Reps Mary Peltola, Democrat for Alaska, a Democrat from Washington, another one from Florida, Michigan, right? Two of the Democrats who voted for it are seeking higher office, right? And they're running for Senate, stuff like that. And somebody else is running for governor. So they just showing you how bipartisan, right? How they went across the table and voted for this. You dig what I'm saying? This is what happened. Now, in addition to deporting migrants convicted of S crimes, the legislation would also deem illegal immigrants who admit to domestic violence or S-related charges or are convicted of them to be inadmissible in the U.S. It's part of a wider legislative push by the House GOP to spotlight issues stemming from the border crisis, which has for months affected cities and states across the country. Okay? Now, we cannot dispute the fact, and if you've been in this class for years, I've been talking about it consistently, even pre-pandemic. Damn it, I'm talking about the first border crisis. I was witnessing S crimes skyrocket in New York City. And every time the perpetrator, he damn sure wasn't somebody who was from here, accustomed to being here, raised here. It was a lot of man. And we don't want to finger point. I'm just telling you what it is. We had enough of that with the old phase, right? Because the old phase, straight up, we know that when you do the data on that, they are the most notorious when it comes to that. Yeah, that's what they be in there for. And I'm telling you as a witness, I see they have whole prisons or whole correctional facilities with nothing but them in it, because they the only ones who can live amongst each other and get the programs that they need. Okay? Yeah, because they give them programs just like drug offenders got to take ASAT and KSAT. There's a program that they give S offenders too. But y'all never hear that information. And they have them way in another part of the jail, or they have them in their own jails. Okay? Yeah, so again, this is something that has been prevalent. And again, if we're not going to be in a space where we have people to protect women and children, you understand what I'm saying? What are we? For real, what type of society are we going to move through, and try to grow from if the women and the children aren't protected? Okay, so now that part was disturbing, right? Let's continue. It comes as immigration is among the most important issues on the minds of voters ahead of November's election, with former President D. Trizzle for Fizzle and Republicans repeatedly claiming that President Joe Slow immigration policies have led to a spike in crime and violent crime by people who are in the country illegally. Okay? Right? Studies have generally found no link between immigration and violent crime. Study smutty. Study. We don't need much study when you up in the streets. You dig what I'm saying? Kendall Hampton, much appreciated for funding the war effort. Okay? Now, let's continue here. The Violence Against Women by Illegal Aliens Act passed. So now this is law in a 266 to 158 vote on Wednesday. Every Republican president, every Republican president voted for the bill, as did 51 Democrats. We already stated that. You dig what I'm saying? The bill, right, would also deport or deem inadmissible to the country undocumented immigrants who have been convicted of or admitted to having committed S offenses, domestic violence, stalking, child abuse, or violating a protection order. What's wrong with that? What's wrong? No. If we in this class, what's wrong with that? Why would any melanated woman vote against that? Why? It confuses me. But you're going to be taken aback by some of the people who voted against it. However, these are the same people who want you to vote for Cammy, old Chucks and Pearls, because she's a black woman. So now I want you to be mindful here. Black women, okay, who voted against a bill that could potentially make sure that those who violate black women and children are punished by not being able to just sit here and chill. You understand what I'm saying? Let's see. Of course, first one was a black man who damn sure shouldn't have voted against that bill. What is his reason? But you have one of the leaders, Hakeem Jeffries, the main leader. Yeah, under the VP, voted against that. Okay? Now, there's some lesser individuals in here, but we know you local to New York, Jamal Bowman voted against that. Yeah, Jamal Bowman, yeah, voted against that. Yvette Clark, melanated, champion, Caribbean woman, voted against that. Gregory Meeks, yeah, out of Queens, yeah, voted against that. An Asian woman, Grace Ming, who we know for a fact as crimes against the Asian community in New York City skyrocketed. Why would you vote against that? Why? I'm trying to figure that out. Quasi Umfume out there in Maryland. Yeah. Yeah, where you had April Brown and all y'all DMV, he voted against it. AOC. Yeah, AOC, yeah, her. She voted against it. Yeah. And her partner, Ilhan Omar from Minnesota, she voted against it. Richie Torres, uptown in the Bronx. Nadia Velasquez. Yeah. These are the Democrats that voted against it. Jasmine Crockett, the one y'all, sister girl. Tell him, sister girl. Yeah, voted against it. Yeah. Corey Bush, Joyce Beatty, and Ayanna Presley, another star that y'all threw in front of the media. You dig what I'm saying? Yeah. All of them voted against this. And I'm sitting here saying, like, hold on. These are melanated women who claim that they are for their people. Now, I know for an absolute fact, none of them stood tall, even questioned or pushed anything for reparations. I'm just going to throw it out there, even though us in class, we don't look for that at all. But I'm just throwing it out there. These are people who don't push for that at all. They're comfortable in their oppression and they want you to be comfortable in that oppression, so you damn sure not going to get any reparations, especially non-financial. No. They're not going to do that. But these are the people who they say represent you as black women in your community. Now, you mean to tell me if somebody jumps out a tree on you, black woman, or jumps out of a tree, black man, on your daughter or your kids? Do you understand what I'm saying? You wouldn't want them thrown up out of the country. You would want them be allowed to stay here. Nicole Simmons, much appreciation for funding the war effort. You understand that? You really think that somebody who's here illegally gonna get some bread for being here illegally, will be in shelters or hotels or whatever, get a gig, be allowed to vote in certain spaces illegally, can then take some box, can take somebody grippers, and still just be all right? Like, really? Where they do that at? There are countries that will off you. You understand? They will stone you if you violate a woman like that. If you violate anybody like that. So these black women, these melanated women that they threw in your face, all of them in the space of code switching. Some of them they deem conscious and to the left. Some of them have hijabs. Some of them code switch in different languages. Do you get that? Do you get what that is? And these are things that they don't push out there. That's subtly. Oh, this was just information and they just threw it out, but you miss it in the distraction of everything else. That this law almost didn't make it. For real, for real. This is what these Democrats is doing. This is the things that they move on. This is what's going on that you don't catch wind of. Why? Because you're too busy. You're boggled down with a lot of nonsense. And then when you make an attempt at self-care, you understand? When you try to make an attempt to get some clarity and find a way to recharge, it's like, nah, you can't. Because they're going to throw something at you right up under the belt. Again, we're not standing all tall and strong for no damn Republicans. But I just want you to see exactly what's at play when we don't take control of ourselves. You understand? And create our own institutions. Because that should have been a no-brainer. Anytime somebody is coming into a space illegally, and they're going to commit one of the most heinous illegal acts. What are we doing? They supposed to be up out of here quick. Quick. Now I remember because I was in during Pataki era, and they changed the laws on allowing violent felony offenders to get work release and to get early release and the things like that because of one dude. I'll give y'all that story later, but it was called the Moyd effect. Sylvester Moyd. This man was recommended for early release. He had all type of clearances, and he went out as soon as he got out and caught like 4 or 5 scrapes right back to back. He wasn't even out, man, maybe 40 days. And the last person, she fought him, put the blows to him and held him. But the other victim, he done caught a bunch. So that shifted how people was getting parole. And that was in the mid-90s. So if they do that to people who are citizens, why would you not? You know, and they really had people in a space where they saying that no, this should be shut down because what you're attempting to do is demonize illegal. No, man, listen. No, we're not even having that argument. We are talking about a specific group. And a lot of those groups, and I'm telling you, know how I feel about DV, domestic violence, intimate relationship abuse, and all that. That's a negative. That's a negative. Again, the main nonprofit that was getting so much attention over the last couple of decades was Cure Violence, right? And that was the anti-gun violence movement. If you had domestic violence on your record, you couldn't even work with them. You couldn't work with the program at all. And matter of fact, one of the founders of the program happened to catch a domestic violence charge, whether it was right and exact or not. At the initial time, they had to get rid of him, and he was one of the founders, the originals of the program, and he caught it. DV is not acceptable on any accord. So how would we allow somebody who's not here rightly to come through and to get a free pass, to be running around just jumping on people, grippers and all time? What are we doing? What are these black women thinking of? For real, for real. That should let you know to start looking deeper into who these people are, what they vote on. Their voting records are public information. You could pick any politician, any of them, local, state, federal. Put their name in and they will show you what they vote on and what they don't. That's the most important. They'll tell you what they vote for, what they vote against, and what they don't, what they abstain from. And some of that should have rocked you. You may have somebody who claiming that they pro-black, claiming that they for their people, and won't vote on whether or not a certain bill should be on the table for reparations, for anything. Straight up. But you won't know if you don't study it. You gotta, and it takes time. I admit it takes time, but what else are you gonna spend your time on? If not, watching these individuals. Again, like I said, I'm only aware of it because I was raised to be aware of it. You understand? My participation is I was raised in another direction too, to go straight up against it. Hey, Rashida, Yeah, we see you. Nice. Yeah. But when it comes to black women, when it comes to melanated women and children, again, I, for one, am in firm belief that we, as melanated men, hold a gavel when it comes to that. You violate, you get the hammer. Straight up. You get the hammer. You dig what I'm saying? That's what you do. That's exactly what you get. The hammer. So, who in that space should ever be able to blind you when the information is right there? And black women definitely should never, ever, and I mean never, ever be ones to vote against something like that at all. Now, in saying that, we get to the next space in class because I have absolutely no idea why this video of this interview with the Puffster and Charlemagne is going viral. Y'all pushing it through the timeline. Y'all sending it to each other and saying that maybe this is why they came after the Puffster. And I'm like, let me see this. Let me listen to the clip. So I'm listening to the clip. And in listening to the clip, I'm like, he's talking about a black party. He's talking about black empowerment, as they always do. That's the script. He's talking about us not getting anything for our votes. And I'm saying, okay, I heard all this before. Then I go and do a YouTube search and see that this video is 3 years old. 3! This interview is 3 years old, and I'm like, well, why the sending this shit? The Black People's Party? 3 years old? Y'all sending this shit through the timeline? Like, really? That ain't the reason why. You really think that this indictment that he's being held on, that he has no bail on, is for this garbage that he was talking? That he went through the vote or die campaign and we got nothing. That we did this and we did that. Nah. This 3 years and I never saw it. So if I didn't see it, and I'm sure many of you didn't see it 3 years ago, right? We wasn't watching Revolt like that. So if you didn't see it, I didn't see it. Why are we so sure the Feds seen it? Why are we, really? Y'all believe that? So him kicking Cassie down the hallway had nothing to do with it. Him having 2 or 3 hammers in the crib had nothing to do with it. Him with allegation after allegation, these supposed witnesses, I seen it, I know what he did, I was around, yeah, it was suspicious, yeah, with Albie showing all this, all that, none of that had anything to do? Are you serious? Really? That's what y'all running with. That because him and Charlemagne did a video interview on Revolt that I damn sure never saw. Now this is why they was after him. I don't know what's the matter with some of y'all, man. I'm like, for real, like, what is really good? That man is in a can. That man is dastardly. Yeah, dastardly. I'm never forgetting that. 1,000 bottles of lubes, oils. That might have had something in it, right? Yeah. According to Little Scrappy, it was what was in the oils, right? Yeah. Huh? That's what y'all running with? That he said of black people? You know how many people talk about having a black people's party? Many. Powerful people. People with money. But no, they just go after him. I don't recall him being all powerful. I don't recall him having a bunch of people in the hoods wearing Vote or Die t-shirts. I just don't recall it. I was out there working heavily with nonprofits. That was a very select and few. Very few was rocking any of those. Nobody was listening to no Puff stuff. Puff stuff's not powerful. Powerful. They're going to stop with that powerful black man bullshit when it comes to these entertainers. If they not entertaining, if he ain't dancing and singing, if he ain't doing some old weird little boom, nobody giving a damn about nothing no Puffy had to say. For them to ever believe that he was establishing a black people's party. No. No. So y'all need to stop forwarding that shit to each other if you smart. For real. For real. What y'all doing is giving that more traction. And I don't know who's getting the views on that. I don't know who's getting the bread on that. But that's the dumbest shit I ever heard. That because of that, okay? Yeah. Shanita Jones, much appreciation funding the war effort. That's what he is. That's just what he is. There's no other way to describe Sean Puffy Combs other than dastardly. Yeah. Yeah. We gonna see sooner than later what those tapes reveal, whether it's gonna be screenshots and still shots and or maybe videos. Man. Dastardly. Yeah. Come on, you talking Reginald Vell Johnson and T.D. Jakes. That's dastardly work. Dastardly work. Nah. For real, for real. We not doing that. So stop. I'm looking. I'm looking in Charlemagne's eyes. I'm looking in Diddy's eyes. This is a 3-year ago conversation. Now, I went for it back in the days when Tupac had his last interview, one of the last written interviews. And they was asking him, what do you think about yourself politically? And he said, well, I've been thinking of moving in that direction because as an artist, I have 2 million fans, solid. My fan base is solid. I sell 2 million records. So that would be 2 million votes. When he said that, all of a sudden, as soon as he got home, he ain't make it. A hot year. He was done. So, of course, with that statement, and then with Machiavelli, the album, and the consistent militancy in that, interwoven with a specific cadence and beats in the soundtrack to move people politically, yeah, he was done. That was his apex. That was it. He could go no further. He just couldn't. And I'm going to keep it 1,000. I don't care what anybody says. After that time that he spent in Clinton Correctional Facility, coming back home and composing Machiavelli and releasing it, there was no other direction for him to go in. He either was going to fall all the way off, right? Or get completely into acting and go elsewhere with it. But there was nothing else that he was going to do musically. Because of that statement, he would have moved into politics and into that arena. He had to go. He had to go. But if you believe, or you want me to believe, that the Puffster was thinking in those lines, hell no. He had ample opportunity. Now, mind you, that video, that interview with Charlemagne was 3 years ago. He said he was working with political activists. Where they at? Where they at? I know what kind of party he was having with them. It damn sure ain't had nothing to do with politics. Because I want to know, if that was the case 3 years ago and he was spitting that, what happened? Where are these activists? Why? I didn't hear about the party. Damn, the interview. I didn't even hear, but that's why it's getting so much traction, because nobody else heard it. Nobody saw that. So at what point, if we didn't see the interview, we didn't hear about the party, right? And we damn sure ain't hear what activist. What activist was sitting on this space? Where? Who? I want to know. Because damn near almost every activist in New York City I know. I know them. I see them. I see their work. I'm around. I know them. If any of them was working with the Didster, where you at? If they was at the party, where they at? If they was right there, putting together the framework of the Black People's Party, and he had these billions of dollars, where's that? Yeah, okay. Don't send me no bullshit like that no more. And stop sending it to each other. It's disgusting. Got us talking about that dumb shit like he was about somebody. Diddy ain't give a damn about nobody black unless you was going to open up one of them bottles of baby oil and get to partying. That's it. That's all he cared about. He didn't care about nothing else because he ain't even care about his positioning. He didn't care about his seeds. He didn't care about his legacy. He didn't. He didn't. Because he's in the can right now. Going through withdrawals. Growing a beard. Nasty work. Looking just dastardly. Black People's Party. And you got people reading the comments and the shit. People, yeah, they always taking the black man down. Get the hell out of here with that shit. Taking the black man down. Get that shit out of here. Black men have specific vices. Yeah, and they get shot down for it. You understand? Felipe, what's good? Yeah. So, get that out of here. Get it out of your algorithms. Okay? We're not having that. Oh, that was it too. Okay, we did these black women Democrats selling out. Yeah. Biting people because they snakes. Uptown Dre, what up? We got through the Black People's Party. That 3-year-old interview. I don't know why y'all doing that. Get that out of here. Now, let's get to this other video that y'all sent in. And trust and believe, I don't get triggered much. I definitely don't let no old face trigger me. Nah. I don't let the trolls trigger me. Nah. I don't. I'm beyond that. I'm serious because when I'm triggered, when I'm in go mode, I'm in go mode. It's not a game for me. I'm in go mode. I'm coming through. I'm going to find the addy. I'm going to pull every resource that I have and make sure I'm at your doorstep. Trust and believe. I'm always going to be the last one you see. So I don't get triggered. I'm making an attempt to de-escalate quick. Got to. I have to. That's what soldiers do. You gotta process information quick. So I see a lot of you are triggered by this video of what is being called or is titled racist podcasters saying Africans didn't build America, something to that extent. I don't know who these two old fays are. I don't care to know who they are. But he was very excited talking about they didn't build nothing. They didn't build a wheel. Their infrastructure, these countries is this, went in. And then after he went in, of course, his co-host gonna, nod in agreement and I guess it's their demeanor that has people triggered. I'm like, why? Y'all don't even know these people. But they are the average old phase. I'm going to tell you. Because they're dressed a certain way and look a certain way, don't you ever believe that the people you work with don't go home and believe that. I'm going to tell you that as an actual fact. I don't care if you're a teacher, if you're a nurse, if you're on Wall Street, damn it, if you're in Walmart. I hope y'all don't believe that because Sarah and Chad and them, excuse me, and Jeffrey and them tolerate you at work, that they ain't ready to fry your ass in their oven on any given account. Or if you slide through one of them sundown towns and they there, and you say, hey, Josh, buddy, that he won't spin around on you. These people don't like you. They don't have it in them. So just because you see these two individuals on a podcast and you see others who are on a podcast, you understand, spitting and you trying to put a face to it and an energy to it, man, they cold switch like hell when they gotta work around you. You understand? So don't you ever not believe that that's the average OFE, that's the average pastor, that's the average banker, that's the average cop, that's the average OFE you pass. They believe in that. Okay? Now, I looked at it. Then they had the Ghanaian brother spit his little spiel, right? Without really getting into the meat of it. But y'all pushing it. I get it. I shrug my shoulders at that shit. I'm serious. They shouldn't be allowed to move you. You should already be enraged and militant. This is why I say anger management is essential. You have to understand that. I had to understand that. I'm telling you, I used to rage the slightest indiscretion, disrespect. Man, I had this chip on my shoulder that I'm telling you, unalive somebody in a minute. It's a very, very terrible state to be in when you running around with illegal hammers on you and you got this rage that you just don't want to control or check. And I'm telling you, you see somebody, you're just going to do it. You give it to them. And they could be the innocent. They could be the most innocent person. I'm telling you, the maimed individuals is not worth it. Because with all of the pain I put in, our people ain't moved nowhere. When you listen to the 5%ers, the nation of gods and earths, and they really building, and they talking about the rewards. Some of y'all don't understand or never heard of it. But when you supposed to get a lapel pin, a pin on your lapel to wear after you done took 4 divine evil's heads, man, listen, trust and believe. If there was anybody that I was around of that stature that had, you understand, one of those pins, I'd have had a pin. Trust and believe I'd have had a pin or 2. I'm putting pain in what happened without the proper political education, without the people understanding. Man, you just a lone wolf. You just doing it and nobody is receiving the benefits of it. So when you get triggered over a video, when you get triggered over words, when you get triggered over white folk telling you who they are, man, you have to look at yourself. And I'm telling you, this don't move me. I watch videos, I do documentaries, I see people in the street, I look at behaviors, I understand politically what they're doing via policy. And it's like, so what? What are we going to do about it? What are we truly going to do about it? Because if you're that mad, if you're that enraged, you're going to make sure that your entire essence is about liberation. Where you don't take a break. You're not taking a break from liberation. When you're that motivated, when you're that angry, your whole essence, and you're making sure that no one that you deem an enemy to you or your people benefits from your existence. That means taxes, that means voting, that means financial institutions, that means anything. No way should they ever benefit from you. No way. You understand? Get out of here. We war here. I don't know what you talking about. Shit. This is a warrior spirit here. We don't play. You understand? That is what you have to move beyond. Where you still seeing roots and you catching feelings. Where you watching Mandingo and Django and Underground and you catching feelings. When you're going through YouTube and Google and DuckDuckGo and all that and you can't, we beyond feelings. What are you going to do? So I'm watching and I'm like, these is cornballs. Because the real old phase that really believe like that, they out there lynching. They out there putting in work. They're not sitting on a podcast. So homie, him and his man with the glasses, whoever it is, tag them. Send it to me. Tell them I said they boots. Them dudes ain't about no action. Not at all. But they are the ones who push the propaganda, who trigger others, who gather these clowns like these little young old fake boys that's going around and clapping up schools. That is the mentality that they run. They run that. They run that. Do you understand? When you're that enraged, you get back. What's your get back? What's your get back? And your get back ain't joining them and trying to prove that you can do what they do and be a better capitalist than them. And if they can drink wine, I can drink wine. That ain't get back, dummy, because they benefit from that. You ain't got your own vineyard. You paying for their bottles. What's your get back? Because I keep telling you, if it ain't reparations and blood, you're not getting no reparations. There's no way to repair it. But let's stick to the statement. He said that none of us built America. That's what this old face said. And it's an easy. When I'm telling you an easy look up, it's easy. I can do this off the top of my head. Because again, if we're going to go from pre-revolutionary to revolutionary to the war, several wars, 1812 and all that, America wasn't shit. It was nothing but a bunch of old fays consistently on a path of genocide, running through anybody who was here. Anybody. Indigenous people, people who came from the continent that was trading over here with indigenous people. You understand? I'm trying to explain something to you. Immigration is not new. These people were not established, which is why they have a constitution that can always be amended. It's not solid. Because the minute we don't validate it, the minute that you come to the consciousness to say, yo, y'all old face gotta go. And I mean that. Y'all out of here. They done. But since he made a statement about the 1900s and that there was nobody, they didn't even create the wheel or invent the wheel on the continent in Africa in the 1900s, I'm going to show you how these old fays did nothing. Let's start with pre or during. We get right on the cusp of the Civil War. So you get a picture, because sometimes we don't have that picture. Why? Because they write history. History is distorted. A lot of years missing, a lot of actual facts missing. So when you are a historian like a Lewis Gates and you got to rely on what the Ofe put down on paper, and we didn't have a chronological account in real time, because remember, we would be lynched. We would be hung for reading, for writing, and anybody who taught us that. Okay? So the historical accounts, when you have to deal with it from a space of those who oppressed you, the warmongers, you're at a disadvantage. Because why would they tell you the truth? So you would need other resources. But from his perspective, let's see how many people actually built key parts of America. Yeah. I'm going to go to the Chinese railroad workers, 1865 to 1869. Now, I find it disturbing that you can watch and you can make movies like Mandingo and Roots and have a whole Library of Congress with documents and documents and documents, but y'all never ever show melanated people enslaved. I mean, you got the little punk ass drawings, but 1865 to 1869, right? Yeah. When Harriet and everybody is running around and trying to get busy and all that, there were cameras then. We have photos. Then where are we? Beyond me. Purposely done. So you couldn't see the atrocity of what was going on at the time. But let's see, because Old Faze didn't have the strength, the knowledge, or the will to complete the building of America. Yeah, yeah. Especially the ones who consider themselves WASP, white Anglo-Saxon Protestant. Let's go. From 1865 to 1869, 12,000 Chinese immigrants constructed the western section of the Transcontinental Railroad, one of the greatest engineering feats in American history. Chinese immigrants. Specific. Their efforts, which connected the western United States to the eastern United States, laid the foundation for the extraordinary economic prosperity enjoyed by the United States in the years that followed. Understand that. So while you was running around having a civil war or trying to reconstruct what you called a country at that time, when you were establishing your KKK, to make sure that those who were enslaved became sharecroppers and didn't want for much and didn't know how to read, though they became very literate within that time frame real quick. The Chinese was over there doing numbers. Now, building shit. Now, they also don't give you a lot of information on how many of the Chinese were being beaten and lynched during this time. See, because they don't want you, as a melanated person, to get knowledge that during the same time when you were saying we were shiftless and porch monkeys and all that shit, eating watermelon and big lip, that we was definitely the ones who were creating inventions that would assist in building, and the Chinese was getting, but you put it down as patents from white men. Let's continue. Many of these workers risked their lives and perished during the harsh winters and dangerous working conditions. They faced prejudice, low wages, and social isolation. That sound familiar? Melanated man? Chinese. And then you got to think, well, how the hell did the Chinese get to California? If you're trying to picture what Hollywood showed you. Remember, Hollywood showed you slaves with no shoes. Tattered clothes. Yes, sir. No, sir. Chicken George and all that. Where was the railroad? They didn't start showing you that shit to when? Little House on the Prairie and all that. There is a false narrative portrayed. Stay with me now. They faced prejudice, low wages, and social isolation. Despite these challenges, they courageously took a stand to organize for fairer wages and safer working conditions. Their efforts only bridged our nation together. They advanced the cause of good, safe jobs for all workers, immigrant and native workers alike. That's a strike, right? See what they're talking about. So before you could even have a longshoremen's organized workers stopping work, they did this in 1865. I keep telling y'all, this shit is not new. Old Faze at the top, the leaders, who for some reason nobody knocking their heads off, always make an attempt to control labor. Keep telling y'all that. pull out your labor, pull out of their banks, leave their systems alone, is going to fall. Okay? Let's continue. Before smoke and steam could fill the skies of the American West, the sweat, muscle, and arduous labor of thousands of men and draft animals was needed to build the first transcontinental railroad. A labor force rivaling the size of an army would be needed to overcome the numerous obstacles confronting both the Central and Union Pacific railroads. The Central Pacific faced immediate challenges building east from Sacramento, California. The looming Sierra Nevada mountains, miles of parched desert in the new state of Nevada, and tempting gold fields that could lure away entire workforces. Now, we know them Ophades can't take the desert and the desert heat. That's an absolute fact. So they ain't built shit. They can't take the heat. They from the Caucasus Mountains. Whether you believe Yaqub drafted them or not, we know they can't take the heat. So they damn sure couldn't put the work in. Where y'all white folks at? Where y'all white men at? Tag them. The Central Pacific Railroad was chartered in 1862. That's important. Because if it was a railroad chartered in 1862, we talking Civil War. We're talking Civil War, right? Why the hell they considered us to still be running around? Not even considered. Why? Did we consider ourselves as enslaved persons living in some backwoods shit with no shoes, getting whooped? They had a railroad. Do they ever show you that? Did they show you that? When they showing you Harriet Tubman and all that, you seen Harriet Tubman jump on the train? Did you see any steam? And do they ever show you any of that? Because they don't want you to know that certain things in certain times and spaces was actually moving. Okay? All right? They want you to believe that we were all separate. Because in the same time that they was running through who they call Indians, same time they had you coming through slave ports, coming through a handful of Ophades, just like today, a handful of telling you what you should do, where you should look, what you need to come into the workforce. If you don't get this, you ain't working. Handful, but you stand down to it. Don't know why. Okay, let's go. Progress during the first 2 years of construction was slow. Okay? Partially due to the long supply lines used by the Central Pacific to acquire the material to build and to a critical shortage of labor. The labor shortage was often created by the report of gold strikes. Workers would often quit whenever a lucrative strike was reported, leaving the arduous manual labor of railroad construction for a fleeting chance at riches in the gold fields. And it's like, why the fuck am I over here building this railroad? It's gold in them there hills. Yeah. Which also proved to be a bigger problem for them. Because we can't let the Chinese get the gold. We can't let any free Africans or These people get to go. We can't let Mexicans get to go. We're going to get into that too. Give me a second now. Managers like Charles Crocker started to consider alternative labor sources in 1864. The CPRR was initially reluctant to hire Chinese immigrants due to anti-Chinese sentiment and concerns that white workers would not work with the Chinese immigrants due to racist attitudes. So you mean to tell me y'all need these people and you still racist? So you wasn't building shit. You was attempting to, but you needed them. So when this white dude is telling you, nobody built America, we built it, he's lying. And he sounds dumb. So tag him. Whoever in here trolling must be some white folk. Tag your mans in them podcasts. Tag them. Because they're lying. Yeah, let's go on. California had attracted numerous Chinese immigrants ever since the discovery of gold in 1849. The Guangdong province, located in southern China, was rife with civil war and poverty in the 19th century, and many from that province found their way to California looking for work and a chance to earn wages to send back to China. Does that sound like Guatemala? Does that sound like Mexico? Does that sound like Honduras? Does that sound like any other nation that's over here now coming for work? So why are we acting like immigration is a brand new issue? You're going to learn in class today. Shit ain't new. Oppression and racism ain't new. What gotta be new is how y'all attack it. Let's continue. The majority of the Chinese immigrants were male, many having left wives, mothers, sisters, and daughters, and future spouses at home in China. Foreign minor taxes in California, often aimed squarely at Chinese immigrants, prevented them from staking mining claims, which in turn forced them to look for opportunities elsewhere. More Chinese workers would be hired, and they held a variety of jobs: laborers, foremen, contractors, masons, carpenters, cooks, teamsters, interpreters, and medical professionals. Even so, racial inequalities persisted. Chinese workers was paid an average of 30% less than their white counterparts. Why? They were segregated in work camps and had to pay for their own lodging, food, supplies, and equipment. Come on. You're going to learn today. The disparity came to a head on June 24th, 1867, when all Chinese railroad workers from Cisco to Truckee, California, a 30-mile section of track, stopped work. When you stop work, it's a problem. At the time, it was the largest organized labor strike in the United States. That's 1867. The boycotts in what? Selma, Alabama, right? Was what? Almost 90 years later. Same strategy. Right? Okay. Come on now. In addition to wage disparity, the Chinese laborers faced dangerous working conditions in the Sierra Nevada mountains. Numerous tunnels had to be bored out of solid granite rock for the railroad, and this critical and dangerous work frequently fell to the Chinese. Road slides explosions, environmental exposure, violence, and even avalanches claim many lives. While no accurate number is available, it is estimated that over 1,000 Chinese laborers died building the CP Railroad. Chinese. Now, if I wanted to, I could have put in the same for the Mexican workers. Look in the thumbnail, okay? It's a Chinese worker. Boots, work clothes. Why, during that same time period, they consistently show you Kunta, Chicken George, with no boots and shoes, running around looking fool. Yes, sir? Oh, yes, no, Miss Ann. No, massa. They really want you to believe that that's what was going on at that time consistently? You got to do the knowledge to this shit, man. Because you would get triggered. You would really believe that them old faces know what they talking about. That they talking out the side of their face and matter of fact and like, we built this. Because not only was there Chinese laborers there, was there Mexican laborers there, they were Irish laborers there as well. Building this raggedy shit. Because the WASP just couldn't take it. If it wasn't for the enslavement of melanated people, the South wouldn't even have got off the ground. And while you had them in cotton fields, while you had them in orange groves and shit like that, and tending to y'all livestock, and y'all was kicked up with all type of disease and going to the saloon, and messing with them little nasty bras in the saloons and shit in the Wild West and all that other dingy, dirty shit that y'all was doing. You wouldn't have nothing today. Nothing. At all. Nothing. And you still have nothing now. The very minute people stop allowing themselves to be comfortable in their own oppression because they get trinkets, because you get a paycheck every 2 weeks, because you could get a bottle of Jack Daniels or something, or get a vacation that you paying off on your credit card. The minute people understand and really get woke, this shit has to turn up. It has to. And then we'll see really how strong white folk is. I'm just saying, don't allow that shit to trigger y'all. But I'm hungry. So let me get to this last section of class. Fund the war effort too, because y'all don't get it like this. Y'all really don't. Y'all really don't. For real, for real. Let's get to the good part. Yeah, because I got to talk about this other shit. Yeah, the scams. Since I don't get the war effort funded, y'all give all y'all bread to Black Lives Matter and bullshit like that. Yeah, the Mythons, the Tamika Balleries, these old crazy weirdos who not gonna bust their hammer, don't have a hammer, and damn sure ain't thinking about no liberation. Yeah, shit like this. Let's get to it, because y'all got scammed. Let's go ahead. Now we got to talk about, what's this dude name? What's his name? Tyreek Conyers Page. That's his name? What did they call him? Some other shit they was calling him. Yeah, they call him some other shit, man. What the... Sir Major. Yeah, he took y'all little funds and started tricking at the spotty spot. Yeah, going to the track. Yeah, he went to the track with y'all little ones. See, things like that and all them nonprofits that in their mission statement, there's nothing about liberation. Woke and conscious people been trying to tell y'all for a long time. But you consider them doing work because you see them around old face and they talk and they got slick tongues and present themselves in a certain way like they doing work and they not doing shit. Nothing. But y'all think they doing something. So y'all keep giving them y'all nickels. And then when they find out, or you find out you being scammed, people like us get something. You know, we get the bullshit. Yeah. Yeah. Y'all get cynical when it come to us. Them y'all give everything. So this bozo clown, who I don't even know how he was doing any of this. I'm telling you. Couldn't have been me. They would never let nobody as melanated and as pretty as I am ever get away with this shit. Y'all got this? Really, come on, y'all. See, I didn't follow the movement at all. I knew it was bullshit. I know immediately when something pops up that is garbage. Especially if they are working in total accordance with the rules that's established by your oppressors. Once you get an LLC, once you are a nonprofit, you're stating that you're going to uphold specific laws, codes, regulations, rules. You in it. You're not going against the United States. You're just not. Because you're participating in it. You're bonded. You're letting people get money through those entities. It's going through banks. You're not trying to go against that. No, you can't. It's a contradiction. There's no one that's ever going to have those things on them. Labels. 501c3, 501(c)(a), and all this other weirdness, LLCs and all. You working with the government right there. Lets me know. You're right there. You're on their radar. You're right there. You're in conjunction. Paperwork. All that. Social numbers, addresses. You work with them. You're not trying to turn this shit up and turn it over. So what the fuck am I gonna pay attention to y'all for? I know it. You want to be comfortable in your oppression. You're not trying to go against the flags and none of that. At all. So, I didn't really care to. Then when I seen the people who stood in support of it and who were at their trainings, their professional developments, their marches and all, weirdos. Nobody armed, weirdos. Voluntarily getting arrested, weirdos. Did that shit in the 50s and the 60s. It's time to turn up. Don't nobody get no liberation like that. You get trinkets. So this bozo, I'm looking at him like, yo, this clown was able to finagle, excuse me, all of this? Anyway, homeboy got 42 months. Sentence, 42 months, whole lot. But let me just read the allegations and shit. The allegations surfaced in April 2020 when the FBI's National Threat Operations Center received a complaint accusing Page of misrepresenting himself as a leader of the Black Lives Matter movement and misusing the organization's funds. According to prosecutors, their investigation revealed that Page had established a social media page named Black Lives Matter of Greater Atlanta and registered it as a nonprofit capable of receiving donations with a significant presence on the fundraising platform GoFundMe. So when you say, players, why you don't do this? Man, why you don't do that? Man, and do this and do that. And God, cause this shit. That's why. Because I'm not here to scam. I'm not here to play games. I'm a liberator. Anything I get is used for liberation, for people's daily lives, for them elders who will be stuck at the store trying to count pennies, for them kids every day going to school and 5 or 6 of them don't get no lunch, and other ones laughing and all this other weirdness that be going on, for them single mothers who I be seeing trying to beg Ock for Pampers and all that. I don't be playing with this shit. It ain't time to be scamming and playing games at all. So you don't see me with none of that. Sabrina Scott, what's appreciation for becoming a member? You understand? You don't play with this shit. This is what they do. And I'm looking at this clown. I'm like, what is going on with him? He looks crazy. But y'all let it go down. According to an FBI news release, financial scrutiny revealed that from April 2018 to May 2020, the Black Lives Matter Georgia or Greater Atlanta bank account solely managed by Page showcased minor transactions never exceeding $5,000. However, in the wake of George Floyd's death, donations surged in June 2020, witnessing approximately $36,493. In July 2020, around $370,933. In August, an additional $59,000 in contributions. Ain't that some shit? Ain't that? I could keep it up. What? I never seen, man. My Cash App ain't never been over $400-500 ever. Cash, and that's only at that point, mostly from working, from my assessments, from anger management sessions, stuff like that. Donations, gifts, 300 and something, almost $400,000 for somebody who's not doing nothing at all. Nothing. Y'all see him playing a role. This is the swag. Y'all see dudes in an image playing a role. And he just said he was down with them. He might not even have been down with them. But he utilized social media to trick people. Because y'all believe anything y'all see on this shit. When it comes to these clowns, because of how they present themselves. When somebody is presenting themselves in their original space, in authenticity, they don't believe it. Now, he can't be that real. Even though people see me in the street working on a regular basis. Even though I have a client base. That could give testimonials to save their lives on a regular basis. Nah, they want you to put the bells and the whistles on and to present and to look a certain way. So they can feel comfortable giving you some shit like you the pastor, you the preacher man, because of the imagery. Let's see what he did with this imagery. Sir, Major Page, also known as Tyree, gained prominence in the Atlanta area for his activism. What activism? Did he punch police in the face? Did he jump on the O-phase that unalived the brother for jogging? What did he do? What activism? Because he had a bullhorn and a sign? But they went for it. Y'all go for that dumb shit, that old bullshit. Y'all go for that, right? Let's continue. His rise to public attention came largely through his self-representation as an activist and leader within the Black Lives Matter movement, leveraging social media and other digital platforms to amplify his voice and the causes he purported to support. So he bought a lot of subscribers, usually with y'all donations, because that's how they do it. Take the donations, buy subscribers. Oh shit, his subscribers is growing, his followers is growing. Oh, he got a blue check. And he paid for it with y'all bread. Oh, nah, he doing numbers now. Get out there and do a little stupid shit. Get access to the media because he paying them through your bread now. White folk think he's somebody. This is the game they play on y'all. Then they get endorsement deals and commercials through Cadillac and shit like that. Yeah, okay. Page has been the focus of a Fox investigation for being charged numerous times with impersonating law enforcement officers in Georgia. How do you impersonate police and don't go to jail? It's beyond me. I know for absolute fact in NYC, you impersonate police, you go to jail. But let's see where he went, because I'm still trying to figure this shit out. In December 2014, Atlanta police charged him with impersonating a police officer when they found him at a Shell station on John P. Lowry Boulevard wearing a replica of the Atlanta police uniform, Glock 45 automatic pistol, and other gear. According to the police, he had a black female handcuffed in front of the gas station. I wonder what was going to happen to her grippers. Ooh-wee. Man, she lucky. 2014, he might have been taking her to the puffster. Yeah, man. Page claimed he was working as security there. Let's move on. In October 2015, police reports say Page once again armed, wearing a bulletproof vest outside a MARTA station. He even demanded an ID from a man who turned out to be an Atlanta PD sergeant. 2 charges. Impersonating Popo. Not in jail. I'm trying to figure this out. Now this is year after year, 14, 15, come on. In January 2016, court records show Page blustered his way past security guards at the sloppy Floyd building by claiming he was an FBI agent. The court record stated that he was carrying a hammer. A witness told police he had more weapons than I ever seen an officer wear. He ultimately was allowed to clear all 3 counts by pleading guilty to lesser charges of obstruction and carrying a weapon in an unauthorized location. How? How? Let's continue though, because y'all gave him y'all money. Page and the Black Lives Matter of Atlanta movement parted ways shortly after the arrest, which is when he started Black Lives Matter of Greater Atlanta, and people gave him money. Yeah. This is the kicker for me. In November 2016, Page made an unsuccessful bid for Atlanta City Council. So after all this shit, he was able to run for city council? What kind of shit y'all got going on in the South? Man, it's sweet like that? Let's continue. Page is a former actor who appeared on TV roles such as American Horror Story and Constantine. He dubbed himself the world's sexiest albino model and actor on his Vimeo account. And y'all gave this dude 5, 6, 7, $800,000? Really? That's this. But me, somebody who consistently shows work, consistently does work, it don't make sense. Like I told y'all before, I understand what Malcolm went through. I understand what Dr. Khalid Muhammad went through. Because people are cynical when you show them a certain specific energy because they like the fake bullshit. They like that. They like that. Yeah. So now what? He's convicted. Got sentenced to 42 months. But he not alone. Everybody that came in that tag, Black Lives Matter, damn near all of them, non-profit, 501c3, LLC, scam y'all. Took bread. But never promised y'all shit anyway. What do you mean Black Lives Matter? What does it mean? But y'all pushed them. Put them in front of the news. Let them run. Let's talk about this one. Come on, brown girl. Activist Monica Cannon Grant. Boston activist Monica Cannon Grant, who along with her late husband was indicted last year on 18 fraud-related counts relating to their charity Violence in Boston, was found to have violated her release conditions, receiving her father's financial benefits. Okay, that's that part. Now this chick is so deep. Was scamming so much. She got indicted, got out, and they gave her specific stipulations. This chick is trying to get her pops benefits bread, and they deaded her. But that's what happens when you do stuff like that. Everybody else is a casualty. So look, this they saying. Because the defendant is a serial fraudster, because the defendant's prior history as a family fiduciary is marked with red flags, and because the defendant has a history of deceiving financial monitors, the government opposes the defendant's request. Federal prosecutors wrote in a motion opposing her request to amend her release conditions to handle her father's set finances. Now, in order for her to get out, they had to make stipulations. You don't handle no bread. None. Because your ass is fraudster. You took your bread, right? You took your bread that you took from people, as a 41-year-old woman, took $1 million and was going on trips and all. This is what they alleging. You spending bread, and I keep telling y'all, when y'all get them LLCs and you get them 501c3s nonprofits and you take certain grant monies from the government and all that other shit and think that people donate, you could take the bread, everything is accounted for. Digital receipts, all type of receipts is not real money. It's not. So every time you try to pull liquid cash from it, it's an alarm, it's a flag. They hit her for having a bubblegum meal. Your greedy ass had to go to Bubblegums after you said you was going to take the kids on a trip. This is how weak the case is. Dumb shit like that. But you supposed to be an activist. Black Lives Matter. This is the type of shit y'all supposed to be on. Black Lives Matter. Until y'all get bread enough to go to Bubblegums. Until you act like this Page dude and get bread enough to go tricking on a whole stroll. Maybe not even a whole stroll. Because when they said he paid for prostitutes, we don't know, since he in Atlanta, whether it's male or female. He might have been with the Eddie Winslow chick. We don't know. We can't for certain say he was in a strip club with the broads with that Black Lives Matter money. He could have been tricking with the lizards. Straight up. He looked weird. Money looked wild. And it already said he was on TV show, so he got a little touch of that Hollywood. He might have been at the party. So he might have spent some of that Black Lives Matter money on man butt. I'm just gonna keep it 1,000 because Shorty looked weird. We'll see. He got 42 months to do. We'll find out. But this chick Monica couldn't stay up out of bubble gums. Yeah, she needed that bubblegum shrimp. Yeah. Her trial is coming up, by the way, in December. So at 41, and this dude at 35, this is what y'all do. Y'all decide to catch bids on some dumb shit instead of really working for the people. Because that's what Black Lives Matter became. Yeah, that's what it became. That's what it became. So they didn't even let her get her pops. Her pops was supposed to get money from the VA to take care of his bills and all that. And she had no other family. He had no other family to do it. The judge was denying, like, I know you out, but nah, you can't get that money. You a scammer. So her father becomes a casualty in her dumb shit. This is where we at with it. But they activists. These are the people that they put in front of you. And y'all say, nah, they doing that work. But just like somebody early on in class going, are you a OTEP? Are you a HOTEP? And all that. See, they like to clown people that's really doing the work. They try to bottle you up into some dumb shit and label you. But that's okay, because I don't get triggered. When I get triggered from that type of stuff, I keep doing the work. Keep putting that work in. I get motivated. I change somebody else's life. Consistently. I put another class together. Consistently. Because they not intelligent enough or committed enough to even stand near me. And they damn sure not tough enough. They're not going to bust a hammer for the people. They're not going to bust a hammer for themselves. These is popcorn ass niggas. Let's move on, because it doesn't just stop here. We got another one. This one is way overseas. British Black Lives Matter activist, what's her name? Zahara Salim was sentenced to 2.5 years in prison for fraud on Tuesday after admitting that she spent more than £30,000 in Black Lives Matter charitable donations to fund her lifestyle. The Bristol activist helped organize a June 2020 march that led to the toppling of a statue of Edward Colston, a Bristol native, 17th century merchant, member of parliament, and slave trader. Black Lives Matter protesters confessed to toppling the statue but pleaded not guilty to criminal damage in 2022. This chick spent bread, £30,000. So that means that Black Lives Matter as a movement had people in there telling people how to try to siphon money up off of the donations. That's what they do. This is what they do. And if you don't think that these people, and I'm talking about y'all New Yorkers, if y'all don't think that these corny ass bozos that y'all keep hearing on the radio and seeing on these podcasts, and ironically are so quiet now that Mayor Eric Adams is toe up, y'all don't see them. Y'all ain't hearing about them. They not protesting. They not standing behind them. They trying to get low. If y'all think that they ass ain't involved in it, they involved in it. The feds are just trying to see how they going to work them the way they worked Sharpton for the last 4 decades. Had him by the bootstraps and made sure that he was anti-pro-black, anti-liberation. So anti that he tried to go get Assad back from Cuba. He been a rat. And if you think anybody that came up under him wasn't and isn't a rat, you're mistaken. And if you think none of them under any of that umbrella, crisis management, any of that, you think that they not skimming and scamming and scared to death that they name as a board member, as a trustee, as anything, you think it's only one bag, yo. It's only one bag. I'm hipping y'all to something. There's very few people that's really truly committed to taking care of the people and making an attempt to move in a different direction. But just like Malcolm, just like Huey, just like Imam Jalil, y'all gonna ruin it. Just like John and Pam Africa, committed soldiers, y'all gonna ruin it. And I'm telling you, you're not gonna find out until Brooklyn looks like Beirut. Y'all not gonna find out until DC look like the Gaza Strip. Y'all not gonna find out. I'm telling you. Until spots in Memphis look like Haiti. I'm telling you, it's gonna be too late. Get behind some people who have different strategies and tactics to move towards liberation, or it is what it is. Because people just don't have the patience to continuously work and be ignored. Why y'all like dudes that's running around playing with their genitals in your face and running around doing antics and shit online and playing in front of the news cameras like they really for y'all? I'm telling you. It's still solid BLA soldiers that's not even thinking about it. They like, I'm done. It is what it is. It is what it is. But, as always, don't believe in me. Believe in my belief in you. Don't believe in me. Believe in my belief in you. Come back to class with all 10 fingers and 10 toes safely. If you on that road and you trucking and pull over. Get some shut-eye. Offload and unload safely. Watch for them police. Stay away from truck stop hoochies, man. Eat right. To my educators, man, don't get triggered by them parents. Your job is to educate and keep it moving. Okay? All my laborers, all my damn union representatives, be strong. Find a way to own your labor. If you are a professional, an intellect, a thinker, man, use your skills and talents for our people. Get up out of them people's stuff. You can't be mad at the black inventor that went to get a patent and give it to white folk when you doing the same shit. You in their hospitals, you in their courtrooms, you in their places of business, you securing their shit. Financial analysts for them and all. Get out of them people things, man. You black cops and black soldiers secure. Get up out of that. Use your talents and skills to secure our communities. What y'all doing this shit for them? Every aspect of this shit, y'all doing it for them. Let them do their own shit and find a way to live for us. If you don't, go out. Be comfortable. Be comfortable. They got enough space for all y'all. They got spaces in their prisons. They got spaces in their Diddy parties. They got spaces in their churches. All that. Have fun. It ain't for me. At all. I'm gone. I'm a liberator. Ain't got time for that shit. Okay? Classroom assistants, my sniper, much appreciation. You see how I keep telling y'all, the more we go at them, We're going to get droves and droves and droves. We're going to keep getting that. Stay solid. Don't worry about that bullshit. We got it. You understand? We got it. Our classroom assistants on point. If you're new to this class and you didn't contribute to the war effort, salute to you. Salute to all my new members, my new subscribers. Salute to those who funded the war effort. D. Haven, I see you come to class late. Gaza on game, I see you come to class late. Parents, I see you. I see you late, Charles. I see y'all. Y'all make sure y'all sign in the comments to get y'all attendance before C Blaze get to sniping y'all. You understand? And 55 gang, I see y'all. 55 gang. Get y'all grades up.